What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's another episode of the greatest podcast in the world.
Wow, not even DJ. Usually you say greatest DJ, but now we're better than all
world.
podcasts.
Yes.
I wish we had that listenership. That would
I wish too. And sponsors and everything else.
Who is it? Adam Carolla?
Oh God, he's
like $5 million a year.
Joe Rogan may have even surpassed him recently. Yeah. Anyway, it's Joe Bunn here, and that right there is Mike Walter. Everybody, welcome back to the PHDJ podcast.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for being here again. And so as the world slowly reopens everywhere except for North Carolina, apparently, even New Jersey, Mike Walter, according to Facebook and the post from last weekend, did his
I talked about it on the podcast last week. It's no secret.
Did his first wedding in exactly 3 months this past Sunday.
It's weird. It was exactly to the day, March 14th to June 14th.
Yeah.
3 months. And I guarantee that's the longest, probably by a good month, because I don't even think I've ever had 2 months off.
It's not even
maybe in the dead of winter, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's 2 months is a long stretch for me. So to have 3 months off, it's by far the longest.
Not even a question for me. And I still haven't played anything.
Yeah.
So how'd it go? Let's just start like the broad strokes.
Here's what I would say. If I told you, hey, Joe, let's say you work for me. And I said, Joe, I got a gig for you. Sunday afternoon from 1 to 7, 30 people in the backyard. You would go in with fairly low expectations, right?
Super low.
This
and super nervous after being off.
This
for 3
exceeded
months.
Those. Well, forget about even being off. Forget about COVID. I just said to you during normal times, here's a gig, 30 people, 1 to 7, backyard. You'd go in with pretty low expectations. This event exceeded whatever expectations you had.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it was a rager. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? It wasn't, but I had more people dancing than I thought I would. And the party went. I honestly thought they had me book 1 to 7. And I'm like, I told Kelly, I'm like, I think I'll be home before 8-ish because it was a solid hour from the house. I said, technically I'll be home like 8:30, but I think I'll be home earlier because I saw fizzle finish by 6-ish, them saying, nobody's left, you can pack up.
Mm-hmm.
I went right to 7 o'clock.
Damn.
And they were still hanging out. I even asked the mother, do you want to keep me on? I said, it's going to be $150 per hour. And she was like, nah, you can wrap it up.
You can roll, right.
But yeah, I played till 7. They probably danced till about 6:15. And then they finally just started like chilling and hanging out. It was a very cool backyard. It was like a Zen garden in the back.
Yeah.
And that's where they went.
So this was private property.
It was the parents of the bride's house. About an hour north of here, very exclusive area in northern Jersey. And they had a nice piece of property. Yeah.
So, Mike is, like myself, been playing online. They do every Thursday, or the last few Thursdays. Mike and some of his all-stars, I'll call them, have been playing on live streams for
I think we've been doing over 2 months now.
Yeah. It's Thursdays, right?
Yeah,
Thursday evenings, right?
Yeah, early on, SCE was doing Sunday Fun Day. I think they stopped doing that. But so Dominic and I, we certainly weren't looking to compete with SCE. Right. So we said, what night? And we were like, let's plant ourselves on Thursdays, and that's become our night. And we typically have anywhere from 3 to 5 of our guys. Everyone takes a different hour.
Yeah.
And the reason why I want to keep it going is we've had a number of clients say to us, they're tuning in.
Yeah.
So we're not just doing this for the DJ industry, which is nothing wrong with, but if it's not generating me new
monetize it, right.
Right. But we've had a few people say to us, we're watching past clients, as well as we booked a few events that have said, hey, we want Dominic because we thought he did a great set last week. So,
it's in the era of not really being able to have the showcases like Elite is known for.
As a matter of fact, moving forward, this Dominic and I have talked about it. This might be the replacement for our showcases. Maybe not weekly, but we might get to a point where once a month we take over a Twitch channel or whatever platform, because I know Twitch is now having some problems. But whatever platform is, and we say, stay at home. Watch us. We might even do half-hour sets. Like in 4 hours, we can have 8 DJs do, and you can decide. Did you like Jay? Did you like Phil? Did you like Mike? So there could be a future in this, no doubt.
So I kind of sidetracked you there, but Mike and I have still been playing, even in the confines of our houses and basements. Had your skills diminished, or familiarity with your gear, I guess. Maybe that would be my first question.
And I think that had a lot to do with it. I felt comfortable. I'm actually sitting at my system right now. And I have been not only for the live streams, but also I put out a number of pre-recorded mixes that I've been doing. So I feel like I've been doing that often enough that I didn't have to open Serato and go, shit, what does that button do again? Like listen, I've been doing this long enough that if I hadn't touched this gear for 3 months, I would assume it was like
muscle memory.
But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't have to refresh my memory. And also with my crates, I mean, I've really stayed on top of my crates. And especially early on, you talked about the live stream. My live stream theme was just sing along. I was just looking to do, and like I said, by 6:15ish at this wedding, they had kind of stopped dancing and were chill. But I kept giving them fun, happy sing along music, and they had moved to a different part of the yard, so they weren't right in front of me. But I could see a couple times they were swaying back and forth and singing along. So I felt like, good thing that I put all this time and effort into making these sing-along crates for 2 months ago for a live stream, because now I'm not shuffling through going, hey, what would be a good song here? I basically have a playlist of like 400 good sing-alongs. Happy, fun. Some of them are danceable, but most of them are just, like Happy Together by the Turtles.
I
wouldn't play in a dance set, but is a perfect song to drop in a moment like that. And Tip of the Cap to DMS, I'm pretty sure that's one of the tracks that I have a great redrum from.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I can actually, it's not just a segue, but I can actually be seamless and
play it in. Yeah. How about social distancing? Any of that taking place?
Well, here's where I hope my clients don't tune in.
Right.
But I was actually very surprised that no, it wasn't. Only one or two people walked in with masks on, and then immediately saw everyone else without them and took them off.
Wow.
I had my mask on early.
I saw that.
Told, no, don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. I had a number of people, and when I say number, I mean like 5 or 6. So that's 20% of the crowd. Basically offer a handshake, like walk up to me and say, and I had to be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not shaking hands. I hope you understand. And then they were like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. I get it. So I was really kind of surprised by that. I don't know. And listen, this isn't late in the day when you could chalk it up to everyone's had a couple of drinks. They're letting their guard down. No, this was from pretty much the moment they walked into the backyard.
Wow.
And that's the only, I came home and Kelly was like, you seem stressed. Was it a bad gig? And I was like, no, it was actually a good gig. I'm just a little stressed at so I actually got another test this morning just to be on the safe side. I mean, I just, it's the testing here in New Jersey is so readily available. And I went last week and it came back negative, and I just felt like, I'm opening the office on Monday. I'm having Lynn and Dominic back in. And I just thought, let me be fair to them. Let me get one more negative test. So if things had been more kosher on Sunday, I probably wouldn't have bothered, but I just was a little bit bothered by that.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, the bride and groom were even smoking a joint at the end. They were sitting around, there was like 5 or 6 of them, and as I was saying goodbye, she kind of went like this, and I was like, I said I have an hour's drive home.
Otherwise, pre-COVID, no, I'm kidding. So
pre-COVID and not an hour's drive home.
Maybe edibles in their own particular cellophane bag
take an hour to kick in. Yeah, maybe.
I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I saw you look very sharp, matching tie and mask combo. Anything else you did, Mike, to protect yourself? I mean, did you have any kind of PPE gear or screen up?
I had the mask with me, and I also brought sanitary wipes and or disinfectant wipes, whatever they're called, and hand sanitizer. And I had that back behind my system. I moved the microphone from the ceremony to inside the tent for basically I did what we talked about last week. I had a mic on a stand for the officiant who then took it off the stand, which I had no problem with because I had showed her that after it was in place, I wiped it down for her. She didn't seem to be bothered by it at all, but I just let her know. But then I wiped it down. I moved it into under the tent, wiped it down again. But I had hand sanitizer that I used on a fairly regular basis. And then I also, I made the announcement. I put my business card one at each table, which I hate doing because I think it's corny and everything else. But just in this instance, I said, by the way, there's a business card at each table. If you'd like to make a request, you can feel free to text me.
Oh, nice.
I got all of 0 texts the entire day.
Right.
And I had a number of people come up to me and ask for songs. And here I am leaning back going, yeah, sure, I can get to that. No problem. Got it. This is why I wanted to do text. But those were my attempts at honoring the conditions we're under. So I did my best.
I always I always love to see your picture, my view of 1,000 wedding ceremonies, where you see.
I know. I got to do it again. It felt so good to put that post up.
You see the back of the K-12
where at least one a weekend, if not 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I love the people that are like, dude, if you stepped out from behind the K-12, and I'm like, dude, it's an effect.
It's a meme, basically.
Can you figure it out? Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
but I got to take one on Sunday, and that felt really good.
Yeah. I was jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? A number of DJs reached out to me. They were jealous. All I can tell you is I got another one on Friday, and then I'm shut down for at least a month.
Oh wow!
So this as much as I was hoping this would be the beginning of something. It's this 6-day period will be an aberration when I look back on it. So, yeah.
Well, so some people, I guess, commented under that, and
oh yeah, I always like when I put that picture up.
Right.
So it becomes Q&A from like Walter.
Right.
I'm like, okay, sure, I'm happy to help.
So Paul was saying, like, it looks like you're 100 feet away. How far is it really?
Well, I was. They had, and again, it was just I didn't feel like moving my gear.
Oh, okay.
But they had me set up basically at this part of the backyard, and then the ceremony was over there. So I was under the 10, and it was a substantial, but I'd sound checked my cordless microphone. I would have run, and I keep an XLR long enough. So if I was getting any breakup whatsoever, I would have run a XLR, but the signal held true the whole time.
So you're saying where you were DJing from was the same spot that you did the ceremony from?
I didn't move. Exactly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to move their gear in a situation like that?
It's not great.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Rick Styles. Do you usually set up more than one speaker for a ceremony?
So there I did, because I basically had my...
Oh, right. That's right. Your full rig.
I was going to use.
Your dance rig.
Usually when I just do it, when I'm doing ceremony music separate from, reception's going to be indoors and I'm out in the gardens or whatever.
Yeah.
It's usually one speaker. And often, like we've talked about, a corded microphone.
Yeah, I know.
But I will make one point though. If you're using one speaker, you better be careful of certain songs you use that are hard left and hard right.
That's right.
To me, the greatest example of that is the Beatles' "All You Need Is Love," which I don't know about you, but that's a fairly popular recessional song.
Sure.
But depending on which track you have going into your speaker, it will either sound like the karaoke version or an a cappella version.
Yeah.
So that's a song that I have remixed and made it into a mono version.
Oh, nice.
So I've just recorded both tracks onto both tracks basically. Be careful if you're using one speaker. Test your songs, because there are going to be some songs, and the Beatles were famous for the Beatles loved. That was just when stereophonic was coming out, so they were like, "Hey, let's throw all the vocals on the left side and all the instrumentation." So you have to be careful with tracks.
Jackson 5 songs are like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, we know you've been on the bike, and you and I have been trying to do our best to stay healthy in terms of our physical activities during this. So we've both been running. We've both been riding our bikes, indoor bikes. I've been lifting small weights. How'd you feel like after 6-7 hours on your feet? I mean, I actually put up a post about being out of standing on my feet for 7 hours shape, but that was strictly my feet. Because a couple people were like, "I thought you've been working out. I thought you were in great shape." Nothing hurt. My back felt fine. My knees felt fine. It was strictly
my shoes and my feet. I think part of it had to do with the fact, I don't know if you could tell from the pictures, but this backyard was on quite a pitch. I actually had to correct, like I had to put something under the front feet of my system because the system was so I had to put a plank of wood to balance it out. So that's how much of a pitch this back. So I wondered, is that part of it, the fact that I'm not standing on level ground? But I would say, I mean, I got there super early. So, I mean, at 1 o'clock start, I had told them I was going to be there at noon. I got there at like 11:15. So I was basically standing from 11:15 to 7, so even more than 7 hours. But by about 6, I was like, what's hurting right now? And I'm like, oh, my dogs are barking. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know if there's a way to correct that. I don't know if there's a way to get in shape for standing on your feet other than just standing on your feet. But that was one thing I noticed, that my feet were really hurting me.
I know a lot of DJs take those anti-fatigue mats, that they unroll and kind of break out of their bag. Even that wouldn't have helped there because, one, it's outdoors, and two, I think it's probably because you're like on the balls of your feet. Right. Like if it's on a 5-degree decline.
Yeah, I have a much shorter event on Friday. It's only 4 hours. That's inclusive of the ceremony. They only have me booked 6 to 10. So I don't think I'll feel that way. But then, like I said, after that, I got another month without events. So unless I just start, maybe
standing around the house.
Like basically, when I edit video, I sit at my desk for 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
get one of those stand-up desks.
Yeah, just do that because I don't know any other way to kind of get yourself in standing on your feet shape. But it's Jerry Saracusa was like, oh man, I hadn't thought about that. As we, if you've been shut down for 3 months, maybe it's something you want to just start doing a little bit.
I was going to say the only other time I stand like that is for concerts, but that ain't going to be happening either. Where I stand for 5-6 hours.
6 hours. Really? You stand for 6 hours at a concert?
I mean, if I want to get on the front row and end up on the stage.
So you're there super early.
When the
yes, maybe. Yeah.
It depends.
I remember going to a Prince after show once, and it was at a nightclub. And we got in the club at 1, and he didn't hit the stage till 3:30. So now he'd been standing around for 2.5 hours. And then he played for 3 hours. Right. Yeah, when I walked out of there, I'm like, and this club is like a concrete slab.
Yeah,
so that's the only other time at a concert or at an event that I remember feeling that way.
Well, man, this is good. I'm glad.
So you don't have an event. What's your next event?
July 18th, and I have a true confession, man. I'm nervous, I guess would be the best word. I feel anxious. And that's weird for me. I mean, I've never been on a break.
That it will go on, or if it does go on, that you're going to be rusty.
The second, am I still good? I know that sounds weird, but this is definitely, since I was 16, the longest I've ever not played.
Well, listen, I can tell you, like myself, you have been staying sharp, doing your live mixes. You do what, every Friday night?
Fridays, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the vault. Yeah, which I haven't been invited on yet. But maybe someday. You
got to get good, Mike. You got to polish your chops. Polish up.
So I think that will help you. I think part of it is riding a bike and muscle, like you said, muscle memory. But I will tell you this, from my experience on Sunday, bride was thrilled. The bride's mother, who I've communicated more with than the bride, both happy. Both, by the way, what's today? Wednesday that we're recording this? Yeah. I've gotten 2 Wedding Wire reviews. I reached out to both of them. Nice. And they both gave me positive reviews. So, I mean, all's well that ends well. I think I left my clients extremely happy. Yeah. I can appreciate why. I mean, we talk about this often on this podcast. If you ain't nervous, it probably means you don't care. So maybe it's time to get out of this. I appreciate why you'd be nervous. But I can tell you from my own personal experience, and I think it'll be yours, that you'll open that microphone back up and be like, oh yeah, let's rock. Right. Yeah. Nervous, man. All right. Well, Mike, any final words on this? Well, just the fact we had a weird week. So are you away next week? Are you traveling? Why did we need to record? I know what it is. I'm having surgery on my neck for skin cancer. Oh, dude. Yeah. I'm sorry. Great. Well, just hearing this news live. I know. Wow. I'm not really sharing. I just shared it with 800 people. Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm sorry to hear it. Okay. Typical Joe Bunn Skin, and somebody that loves being outside and on the boat and didn't wear enough sunscreen when they were in their 20s.
paying for it in my 40s. Anyway.
So do you have something back there that they need to replace?
Yes, I do.
And then they'll do a graph and it'll come back negative and you'll
no, they already tested it. Let me just preface this before I say the word melanoma is stage 0. So there's that they said, we need to see you. It needs to come off. It's not huge. It's a spot.
So how'd you catch it? Do you go for a regular
I do. I go a lot.
A dermatologist you go
I
to?
do. Mm-hmm. Right. Get butt naked and stand there, and they just basically just poke around and they document stuff, and this thing just looked odd shaped. It looked like a freckle, like an oversized freckle. And so they biopsy it, and then they send it off, and then a week later they call, and they usually say it's nothing, or they say it's basal cell carcinoma, which is a lot less dangerous, which is, when I had that scar on my temple was what that was, and then my neck, and then, I don't know, they threw the M word out, and I was not feeling it, but stage 0 sounds pretty good.
Great that you get regular checkups. I think anyone with fair skin who loves the sun needs to do that.
Please.
And B, thankfully you're having something done right away. You're not putting it off.
No.
I know somebody who put a skin thing off and it got very bad. So it's good that you're correcting it. So wow. So that went a different direction. I was about
Sorry,
to
man. Sorry. No, I'm not going to be somewhere amazing. I'll probably go somewhere after that though.
Good. So just to tease next week's episode, so we pre-recorded a week, which we often do, but usually when we pre-record a week, we do it in order. But because we had 2 guests on, we based it on their availability, we pre-recorded. So we did next week's episode already. And I can tell you, I'll leave you a little cliffhanger teaser. You ain't going to want to miss it. Joe got brave, and we approached a topic that I never thought Joe would. And that's, exclusivity, or I keep saying that, inclusivity within our industry of different races. And I'm proud of the way we handled it, and I'm proud of the way our 2 guests came on and basically educated us and helped Joe and I, because we come from a place of we want to do the right things, and I think we learned, and hopefully when you tune in next week, you will learn as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that a good teaser?
Great teaser. Great episode.
All right.
This was a great episode,
man, I'm going to be thinking about you next week, dude. I'm going to be pulling for you, sending positive vibes.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'll be fine. I always
I know you
just end up with another scar and another story that I lie to people and tell them I got in a bar fight or something.
Yeah, scars are all about the stories you can tell, and sometimes you got to. My wife chuckles about I have a saying: never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So if you can make it a good, and sometimes I've actually had people tell me a story and go, "You need to come up with a better one than that."
That's not good enough.
It's not good enough, man.
Where'd you get that scar? Yeah,
it's not worth that.
No.
Come up with something. Exaggerate.
Knife fight is much better.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, fam.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Later.